Hi, my name is Giles Pearson. I am the CEO and co-founder of Account Tests, and the purpose of this video is to help you interpret our Bookkeeper test in Spanish. So before we get into looking at this report in detail, there's probably a couple of things you need to know. The first one is that although this report is fully in English, the experience your candidate had if they've completed this report was fully in Spanish. So all the instructions, all the questions have been translated, and that's what they saw. So they have given you an impression of their skills of bookkeeping in the Spanish language. The other thing to know is how we put this test together. So we used an expert group of bookkeepers to grade a set of questions. They graded those questions into areas of various difficulty, and what you then see is how does my candidate stack up on these three levels of competency that we've generated. So we'll see that as we go through the report, but it's important to understand how we achieve that. So looking at your report, top right hand side is the order number. So anytime you need to find anything in our platform, you will need that order number. And then down here, you'll see how long did the candidate spend in the test. If that number says 40, then they were still working on the test when their time ran out. The second page is really some background, but there's also a link there to here to our proctoring information. So your candidate was proctored while they did the test. That means their camera was on, and any infractions, if you like, that came along whilst they were doing the test will be recorded. You can access the proctoring report through the platform, and this link tells you more about what that proctoring report is telling you. So here's the bit with the different competency levels that we were talking about. So you can see here levels 1, 2, and 3. So level 1 is like a processor. So really a basic bookkeeper can process information through the system, but doesn't understand entry accounting and won't spot things if they're wrong. So they're the level 1 questions. Level 2 is a full charge bookkeeper, and level 3 is a senior full charge bookkeeper. And our expert group who put this together told us that a candidate needs to get 70% in a level to show competency at that level. So you can see this candidate got more than 70% at level 1 and more than 70% at level 2. So what that means is that you can with confidence say that they're competent at up to that full charge bookkeeper level, but maybe not to the senior full charge bookkeeper at level 3. We then go through the parts of the test in one by one and show you how the candidate did. So accounting concepts, which is more a little bit of sort of theoretical knowledge. Business support, so that's giving added value to the business owner. Journals and processing, so this is where most of the questions are, and is probably a key one. What is their capability at processing information? And obviously at levels 2 and 3, there's the questions delve into that debits and credits area as well. And tax and payroll. So no federal tax in here, so these questions are around sales tax and payroll. So you get to see how your candidate did in each of those sections on the level 1, 2, and 3 questions. And then the next 2 pages go through each question one by one. What was the question about? Which section was it in? What level was it at? And did they get it right or wrong? And if you see any little grey circles in that last column, that means that they didn't answer the question. If you see a candidate who's omitted questions and has run out of time, we often see those 2 things running together, because it means that the candidate struggled with the material, hasn't been able to answer all the questions, often then does poorly overall. And if they omit questions, then they are counted as incorrect in terms of the way that the report is put together. So an omitted question will be counted as wrong. So this goes through the 40 questions. And then the last page is about interpretation, which is what we've pretty much just been talking about, and it's got our contact details there. So if you have any questions as you go through, help@accounttests.com is the place to go to ask those further questions. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.